Hello, 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 hello. So I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I've talked about and discussed a little bit more on my live streams. But basically, the title speaks for itself. Women ASMRtists or women ASMR creators are under attack, or feminine presenting ASMR creators are under attack. So I know from first-hand experience, earlier this year, some of my content, well, one video in particular got demonetized, and so I asked for an appeal, and then instead of it being repealed, they just took down the content and then gave me a warning. And then if I were, like, literally as of today filming this, the warning now has gone away. If I would have had a second warning within 90 days from completing this training they had me do, then I would have gotten a strike. So now I can technically get a warning again and be okay. But anyway, there is... I wasn't planning on doing this video today, but the reason why I decided to do this video ultimately is because, well, I guess it's just perfect timing because my warning got rid of today. Got done, like, it's not expired, but it's like it's completed today. Completed the 90 days post-training. But I continue to see people on the ASMR subreddit talk about how their channels, or people who watch ASMR creators, like, they notice people's channels get taken down. And this is happening because women creators are being targeted. Now, specifically what's happening is if women are considered to be performing sexual content, or if they are, like, not wearing super covered up clothing, then this happens. So for me, what happened is I was doing a collarbone like a slow collarbone tracing video. My face was not in frame, which apparently if your face isn't in frame, that makes it more likely that you'll be targeted for strikes and warnings. Anyway, my head wasn't in frame and I was just tracing my collarbone. I didn't even have cleavage that I could remember, but it was just, you know, I had a top on and you could see my collarbone still, and so I was, you know, tracing slowly, and I wasn't talking, and that video ended up, getting a warning. It had been almost a year by the time it got a warning on it, and that I got demonetized, and then that I got a warning. It's alleged that YouTube has a system in place now that AI filters all videos through a system, and it will demonetize videos that it believes goes against community guidelines, which can include sex and nudity is what it says. And so for me, it said that I was demonetized for that, and then I asked for a repeal for it to be checked by an actual human, and then the human who checked it was like, yeah, no, this is actually bad and we're taking this content down because it's sexual. And all I was doing was going, like, collarbone tracing. I love collarbone tracing. I can tell you, whenever I've seen collarbone tracing, or like neck tracing, face tracing, I never get aroused from it. But so that had gotten taken down. I haven't gotten a strike or another warning, I should say, on any of my videos since that video. Now I'm in the clear more than before because, again, it's completed today. But a lot of women creators are going through something similar where they are getting demonetized, and then, like, even their channels are getting taken away because of even just one simple video of people showing more skin. If you have cleavage, even if it's not, or not even cleavage, but if you are big chested, even if you're not showing cleavage, you can get targeted for this type of stuff. And it's very frustrating because statistically, at least when ASMR first began to be more well known, even before it was more well known on YouTube, a lot of women creators dominated the field of ASMR, which is very rare actually for YouTube itself. Usually the people with the most views, with the most attention, are male creators, and it feels like male creators, their content gets pushes out more. Cishet male creators, even queer people on the platform and trans people talk about how their content can get suppressed, it seems like, or that they're like shadow banned, demonetized for talking about queer identity. And it's like, how? But because that's not even sexual. Am I tired all of a sudden? I'm not. I don't know why you just sound. Anyway, I feel like there's something I was gonna say. Oh, so yesterday, what inspired me to do this video is that yesterday there's another person who apparently their content got taken down for sex and nudity, even though the people like who watched this person were so confused. They're like, this person has wholesome content. I don't know how their content got taken down or how their channel in its entirety got taken down. And for them, I believe it was because, they got a warning on one of their videos, and then without warning, their channel just got taken down without warning. After getting a warning, not even a strike, not even 2 strikes, not even 3 strikes, just a warning. Or maybe a video was just even demonetized. I think it got a warning though. And then before they knew it, their channel disappeared. And they are a woman creator, and I've been seeing this happen since around the time when because again, this new system I think got put in place like at the beginning of this year. And so for me, when I went to the subreddit trying to find information, it's like around that time where this new system was targeting me. And so then I saw it was targeting other people as well on the platform. And there's still people who haven't gotten their channels back and are being told they won't be able to get their channels back or even create new channels. That those, if YouTube finds out, then they'll take that channel down. So there's some people who are specifically just on Patreon as well, who have content that people who are still willing to pay for the ASMR content, they can find people through Patreon. Some people aren't even big enough channels to have that, or they didn't have a Patreon or something established before their channels got taken down. So it's a very weird, frustrating time, because like I can guarantee you some of these people, like their content, if you watch it, it's not like, people can't help if they're big chested or if they have cleavage, okay? And whether people want to argue that some people wear certain clothing to draw in viewers or not, like, I really personally don't care. That's the thing. If people have cleavage, whether they're trying to purposefully quote unquote show it off or not, I don't think that's the reason to get somebody banned. Because people having a body shouldn't be hypersexualized in the way it is specifically for women. So women are being targeted in this way. It makes me scared too for what I was going to wear recently. I did a live stream where I was wearing a top, and in the thumbnail you can't really even see it, but I'm wearing it's strapless. And so I'm hoping that YouTube doesn't target that and say, hey, you're doing sexualized content because you're wearing a strapless shirt. It reminds me of school. It reminds me back of when I was in school and you couldn't wear thin strapped shirts or tank tops. You couldn't even wear tank tops. You couldn't wear thin strapped anything. You couldn't wear strapless things. You couldn't show your what is it, like the midriff, your belly button area. You couldn't show your stomach because that was considered sexualized. And like the school system that I was brought up in, it's like, you were told you don't want to be a distraction for your peers or your teachers. So it's like very victim blamey, putting the fault on somebody for not being able to help the body they have or for individual expression, putting the blame on other people, on women, instead of putting the blame on the men or the people who hypersexualize people without them asking for it. And this is what it makes me think of too. People can wear clothing and it can be like more, as long as you're not walking around a school nude, like, there's the bar's a little bit higher than that, but if you are wearing like a tank top or you're showing your your belly area. I don't think people should be not allowed to wear those things in school. It's just so weird to me because you're there to learn. And people are finding out as they get older their individual expression, figuring out how they feel in their body. Women and girls are less likely to feel comfortable in their bodies as they continue to go through puberty and then so on and so forth as they continue to grow older. This is why women don't feel comfortable in their bodies, is because it's policed, because they're told to be ashamed of their bodies, because they're told that they're being hypersexual when they're not. They're just presenting the way they wish to express. And again, this brings up my point of maybe some people quote unquote want attention for the way they dress if it's more provocative or like sensual. Some people don't. Either way, that does not mean it is on the people wearing those clothing. It is not their fault. It is not the blame of them for other people's like harassments or judgments, right? It just reminds me of that though. In school, people would have to go into the office and like if their skirts weren't long enough, past the fingertips. So it's like, even me, I was told one time, in school like pretty much only wore sweatpants. I think one time I maybe wore a skirt or a dress, and I think it like went like just to where my fingertips were, and that was rare for me. And then I was told by like one of my teachers or somebody, like a teacher walking the hall, like I could easily send you to the principal's office for that. And I'm like, really? Like it looked old-timey too, like very modest, I guess, but the length just wasn't super long down to the floor. I don't know. But I was just like, okay, I think that may have happened even twice. Even like, I don't think it was with the same teacher or even the same school, but it's like, why? Why do you care? Even people who are more progressive or hip, the hip teachers, the young teachers, and you would hear about them like ratting out the kids. It's like, why? I just don't get it. Anyway, so all this on YouTube reminds me of the dress code and how it mostly targets women and feminine presenting people. Like, when I tell you, there would even be guys walking around my school shirtless. It's like, well, for no reason. It's not like they were on their way to a game and they had to be shirtless for a game or something. And guys wouldn't get in trouble. Maybe, like, I would see sometimes teachers walking by, like, hey, like, laughing, like, hey, you should put your shirt on. But then if a girl isn't wearing a long enough dress or skirt, and then, like, teachers would go up with, like, rulers, or, like, specifically to see if the hands were, if the skirt was past the fingertips, or at least met or was past. And, like, teachers will literally do this, like, measure. And I feel like a lot of times it was the woman teachers doing this. So it's like, are y'all just projecting? I just don't understand. I just don't get it. So it reminds me of that, and I'm very frustrated that this has to happen, but it makes me, even wearing this top, I'm glad that it's not, like, fully in frame. I'm nervous wearing this top. Shows my shoulders. Like, showing your shoulders in school, that was considered a no-no as well. So it's like, YouTube can have its rules, and I know that they have certain rules and community guidelines because of it being advertiser friendly. Let me just tell you, if advertisers don't want to pay, like, there's gotta be at least one advertiser that would pay for somebody like wearing a strap. Like, who cares? If anything, there's probably more views on certain videos where people are purposely trying to present in a more sexual way. So I just don't understand. I feel like in many instances that can get more views. Then people are like, it protects the children, save the children. There's so many there's workarounds. YouTube has YouTube Kids, right? And then if your kids are old enough and they have a YouTube account, like, for example, I'm not your parent. I'm not your kid's parent. This isn't just for ASMR content, by the way. It's for anything. Like, if you want to know what content your kid is watching, you can, I guess. I'm not a parent. I never want to be a parent in that way, except for like a pet parent. But it's like, I don't know. I guess you could monitor what your kids are watching, or watch also what your kids are watching. Here's the thing too. Your kids should feel safe to watch things and then come to you if they have questions or if they're concerned. And they should feel comfortable if you have questions about what they're watching. so that they can tell you. Or else kids will just find ways either way to watch things that are so much worse than somebody just wearing like thin strapped shirt. There's so many worse things, not even related to sex, not even related to politics or anything, that are found on YouTube that are targeted for kids as well, and then those people get pushed out. Mr. Beast. And so it's like certain content gets pushed out and that's viewed as okay, but somebody wearing something that predominantly men view as hypersexual, even if people aren't trying to be, it's just they're wearing clothing, and then they're the ones that get targeted instead of these other people who are like preying on kids and are actually doing what I view is wrong on the platform, or is malicious or with bad intent on the platform. So I just don't get it. And ASMR has been considered a hypersexual thing, like a fetish, since its inception pretty much. I remember when I first found out about it was when YouTubers were reacting to it on Fine Bros. That's actually technically the first time I watched or consumed ASMR, and I was so young, I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, so I saw these YouTubers like reacting like, ew, 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 and I'm like thinking it's gross and like it's a weird sex thing, and it's not. And so then I remember that I put a bad taste in my mouth, and like in my mind I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a sexual fetish thing, I don't know why it's about. Years later, when I was in my first year of college, I finally, for some reason, I think a video got recommended to me. It was Batal's ASMR, the first actual ASMR video I watched. I watched it and I fell asleep, and I woke up, I'm like, oh, why did I think this was like this super weird thing? Even if it is weird, it's not like to the extent that these YouTubers thought it was, or that other people say it is. So even though a lot more people are understanding and accepting of ASMR, it's still also viewed as this niche and weird thing, and a thing that like people feel embarrassed or afraid to tell other people in their lives about. It's like, oh yeah, I don't watch ASMR, that stuff is weird, but then you go at home and you watch it. It's like, so that's the thing too, ASMR is already sexualized, and now the platform is making it worse for women or feminine presenting creators by like even taking it steps further, sexualizing it where it's not actually meant to be sexual. And I just don't see it getting better, unfortunately. It seems like YouTube makes a lot of money, especially small creators like me, or like niche interests, niche parts of YouTube, such as ASMR. Even though ASMR is known, y'all are watching this, it is more niche. So me being a queer ASMR creator who's gender non-conforming, it's like YouTube doesn't really care as much about what I have to say. If it was somebody like a Danny Gonzalez, a Curtis Connor, or a Drew Gooden, any of those white men, right, then they would do something about it. But it's not them. And so for me, if my channel were to get taken down, I probably wouldn't really be able to do much. Even something like GB's ASMR, I think, could struggle. I think they're more likely to get back on the platform because they make ASMR look good for the platform as a whole. But it's like, I wouldn't, if I get kicked off the platform, that's kind of it for me, I guess, unless people follow me. If I go somewhere else, I don't know, Twitch, I don't have a setup to be able to do Twitch, so I can't do that. So I'm hoping things get better, but I don't think they will. I think things will continue for ASMR creators to be like this, to be targeted as being sexual, especially because of the current U.S. presidency. A lot of conservative values in politics transcend also. I wonder if that's part of the reason YouTube changed their guidelines, is because of you-know-who being in office. But yeah, so with more conservative values, that means being more modest, and that means things that are considered, that's, you know what, I've talked about this before too, though. It's only, like, the conservative party in America is so sexual. They love talking about and joking about sex only on their terms. When leftists do, or like blue hair colored people do, then it's considered grooming. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm not a groomer. I shouldn't have gotten that. I don't agree that I should have gotten that video taken down, and that I should have gotten a warning. I don't think other creators should get their content taken down for wearing clothes that have like cleavage. Granted, there are people who do sexual ASMR, but people, because of what they wear, unless if it's like quite literally extreme, people should not be scrutinized and have their channels taken down for the clothes they wear. It's just absolutely bonkers. And right now, like Handmaid's Tale is on TV. It's like, oh, we just get closer and closer every day to the Handmaid's Tale live. This book was written in the 80s and the 90s. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you know any other creators that you watch who have gone through this, if you're a creator and you've gone through something similar. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Bye.